Teaching history is important, and recently you might remember that the Harvard law professor who argued that homeschooling should be presumptively banned, which means that people shouldn't be allowed to homeschool unless the government specifically gives them individually the right to do that. And one of the things she said in her later article, when she recognized that homeschooling was exploding as a result of the pandemic, she acknowledged that many parents probably now understood what their children were being taught in public schools that they before that did not know. And that reminds me of a controversy that we've been witnessing. In 2019, the New York Times started a project called the 1619 Project. By their own terms, was to quote unquote reframe American history. Their argument was that America didn't start in 1776. It started in 1619 when the first slave was brought to these shores. And their argument is that basically America is not good. America has been based on cruelty and slavery from its very inception, and we need to reframe America's history. President Trump, in his last days in office, commissioned in response to that what he called the 1776 Commission, a commission that was designed, a broad base of people from varying backgrounds, and the purpose of that was to make recommendations to teach patriotic history that gives a proper view of America and elevates America in a traditional sense. The interesting thing about that report was that two of the people most referenced in that report were Frederick Douglass, a freed slave, a freedman, who all through his life talked about the greatness of America and challenged America to live up to its goals in the Constitution and Declaration of Independence. And the other person was Martin Luther King Jr., who did the same thing. You might remember his thing was that he lived for a dream in which his children would be judged by the quality of their character, not the color of their skin. So interestingly, in the Biden administration now, the Biden administration canceled that commission. Its report is still online, and I'll link to it in our blog post here. But it is a great opportunity for homeschoolers as parents to teach our children the history of this country. And what I've said often is what we used as we raised our kids was to take these issues that are current issues and discuss them and give the positives and the negatives of both sides of these arguments. So we'll click to the links. I hope you'll click on those and discuss these issues with your children. And thank you for doing that and for helping us keep Texas families free.